one needs to delete the old video. I don't see us on YouTube. I mean, I see us on YouTube, but not Facebook. Why are we not on Facebook? Who is in charge of putting us on Facebook and YouTube? Who is in charge of this? Who's in charge of putting us on YouTube and Facebook? So we're not on YouTube, we're not on Facebook right now. Just me. There's nobody else here. But we got Yo-Yo and Nesquik. How are you guys doing? I've had you on ice for 3 months, 1 hour, and 10 minutes. How are you guys doing?
Hey!
Welcome back. Welcome back. You hear me?
We're good.
You hear me?
Can you guys hear us?
I hear you. Do you hear me?
I do hear you.
All right, so welcome back. What have you guys been up to? Fill me in. Yo-Yo, you have a new pad. You moved. You're no longer in 9J. We got to be storming a new apartment. Which apartment is this? Tell me all about it.
So this is a very new apartment. It's not 9J anymore. We will not be storming it. We will be storming apartment A. And it's in Harlem. My own crib.
Storm apartment A in Harlem. What is the name of the doorman that we got to get past?
You said what?
What's the name of the doorman that we got to get past?
See, I have named the apartment. So this is the Devereaux.
And this is the what do you call it?
The Devereaux from Dynasty.
I get it. Very cool.
You
very
so
cool.
bougie. You so bougie.
Now, I was watching you on Instagram. You made me laugh about a week or two ago. You had a housewarming party. I must have missed the invitation, but all your friends were over. Hint, hint, I missed the invitation. And then at 3 o'clock, you were on Instagram saying, now it's time to leave. They won't leave ever.
They weren't trying to leave, so I have to play Golden Girls.
Did that get him out?
Did it get
it
him
got
out?
him out.
Yeah. And boss lady Nesquik, welcome back, Vanessa. How you doing?
Here I am. I'm great, man. I mean, quarantine really helped me focus on all things internet, man. We can really grow online. So I've just been working on my personal brand and a couple of things and waiting to be able to see my boys again. I missed you fellas. Look at y'all still handsome. Look at Brad.
Thank you. Nice. So I saw you down in Florida a bit. Do you want to give us a heads up what's going on in Florida? I mean, I guess unless you live there, you don't know what's going on. But according to the news, nobody's social distancing. Everybody's partying. And it's people your age who are causing all these problems. Nesquik, tell me, is that true or not true, what we're reading in the paper?
No, Florida. So I was in Florida for 2 weeks. We just went to work on a project, but we were very social distance conscious. And then we went to go visit my boyfriend's mom that lives in Florida, also a quarantine opportunity. But the few times that we did go out, people, it was very strange. People were out and about as if nothing was happening. So you have to be extra cautious.
Right. So, but you're back. Everyone feels good, thank God, right?
Yeah, we're good. We took our precautions, wore our masks everywhere, and tried to avoid, it's just, this is a new norm, right? So life needs to go on. We just need to, live life with a little more precaution.
Exactly. And the reality is if people wear masks, although I'm not wearing a mask right now, but I'm by myself in the studio. But if people wear masks all the time, the transmission rates are going to go down tremendously. And, we can talk about it a little later, but everybody talks about, well, I have, freedoms in America. There's freedoms in America, and I'm free not to wear a mask. But I would argue we're all going to be in quarantine. We're never going to be able to go inside of a restaurant or a club or a bar or a store and feel free to shop and eat and have fun unless we all start wearing masks and get this thing under control. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, that's really all that it takes. Being out in Florida, okay, even when we were going out to the beach and things, keeping your distance is really, and just, I don't know, man, it's going to take some time to adjust, but it's doable. We just all have to do our part.
All right, let's say hello to the squad. You haven't said hello to them in a very, very long time. Do you want to have the honors, guys? Because you haven't said hello. I say hello to them every day. Do you want to have the honors of saying hello to the squad today? Are you able to do that?
Let's
say
see.
Again? I can't really hear.
You don't hear. All right, let me say hello to the squad.
29 Super C. Well,
you can wave, Yo-Yo. You wave to everybody.
I'll just wave.
I'm on YouTube, Brad. Let's scroll up. Oh my gosh, I missed out our friends. Tali Tali. It's always so loyal. I tuned in, and all of these names we're still riding with us all quarantine long. Deanna Reed, just call me Joel. Here we go. Paul, what's going on, guys?
What about Tali Tali, Deanna Reed saying hello? Rupan Thakador, by the way, he has more friends with immigration problems than any one of our Brad squad. Every day he asks a question for a friend. We love Rupador. I'm sorry, Rupador. We love him. Who else we have here? Mr. Shaker says squad up. And Shanti Singh saying, what's up, Yo-Yo? Shanti wants to know what's up, Yo-Yo.
What's up?
Okay. I'll let you know if anybody wants to talk to you, Yo-Yo.
Okay, thank you.
Julia Moniz is here. And Kaor Ma saying, yes. And who else we have here? Paul Villefranc.
Hey, what up, Yo-Yo?
Paul Villefranc with a question. Let's go over quickly to Facebook. Sonia Sharp saying hello. Carlene Plunkett. And who else we have? Marcia Watson is watching. And Carol Anderson, the Tiger. You remember her? You remember the Tiger?
Yeah.
Right? You can't forget her, right? Clifford Gordon.
Can't forget.
This is like memory lane here for you guys, right? Nene
Right.
God Pickney, Cordella Douglas, who was sick for a little bit, but hopefully she's feeling better. Sasha Ford, and who else? Elaine McBean Johnson saying hello, squad. And Danish Danny. I don't know if he's from Denmark or he likes a lot of gluten. I'm not sure if he's just a gluten lover or he's just from Denmark. What do you think? Is he?
I don't know. It got me hungry though.
I think I want a muffin or something now.
I want a Danish.
Cheese Danish.
He's
Ooh, a cheese. Oh, I like apple Danishes.
So what do you think? Danish Danny, tell me, are you from Denmark or you just love gluten? Violet Blackwood, how are you? Brian Peterson and Jessica Levy. Why don't you guys tell us, unless you forgot how to do it. Maybe you forgot how to do it. Do you remember how to tell everybody to share? I mean,
is he challenging us right now?
I'm challenging. I am giving you hashtag Bradshaw Live Challenge right now to get these numbers up. Do you think you guys can do it?
We're gonna put it on the spot. Of course we could do it.
All right, let's
Tell
hear.
Brad how it's done, man. Tell him we haven't lost our
All
claws.
right. All right, well, let's start off with Facebook. All right, everybody on Facebook, we have finally all come together. And this is all for you.
By the way, I apologize, Yo-Yo. I apologize. I have a public service announcement. Danish Danny loves gluten. that's what Danish Danny said. All right, go ahead now. We made it very clear. He's a Danish lover.
That's what's up. Well, I am too. All right, so everybody on Facebook, we need everybody to share right now. You finally have us three together. We have been working very hard for this. So just show us a little bit of love by just sharing, all right? All you have to do is click that little arrow, share it to anybody's page. You can share it in an inbox. You can share it to the group. I need you guys to tell your friends and family as well. Please tell all of us, anybody who's in your house, if they have another device. I have my phone here and I have another laptop here. I'm signed into all three devices. So you guys can do the same, all right? And now, let's quick. How are we going to share on YouTube?
All right, friends, you already know how this goes. If you have not already done so, you need to subscribe. All right, so turn that red button gray and make sure that you turn on the notification bell so that you know when we're on in our new norm over here, more than 6 feet apart from one another, coming to you live, making sure that Brad is here to answer your immigration questions. And you can, of course, share on YouTube as well as a post. Send it to friends, send it to family members. You guys already know that we're all about sharing. And make sure you give us that thumbs up. Thumbs up. We need one of those, guys. We need a couple of those. So let's see some thumbs up in the chat and let's see those numbers go up. I see us at 19 right now. We can do so much better than that, guys. So let's
do a
pump
lot
it
better
up.
than that.
I haven't done my thumbs up. There you go. Now we're at 20.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
Guys, like and subscribe.
All right,
And
so
of course,
go ahead.
are we on Instagram?
No, we are not on Instagram today. We were challenged to get on Facebook and YouTube. We're very happy we're on Facebook and YouTube. We'll get back on
Absolutely.
Instagram
But
shortly.
but listen, you guys can still follow the Instagram account, all right? So do not, just because we're not on right now, you can still follow. Because you guys still do a lot of different contests still on Instagram, correct?
Yes. By the way, I have a public service announcement. Okay? Do you hear this sound? You know what that sound is? Do you know what that sound is? What about this sound? Does that sound familiar to you?
Tell me that means nobody's on the phone.
That means people don't know that they can call to get their immigration questions answered.
Oh, man. Y'all better call in.
Yeah, they can call in. That's why I'm here in the studio. You can
Right.
call right
Come on,
now.
y'all. 1-800-529. What is the rest?
You forgot the number. Yo,
You
yo.
guys already.
Yo, forgot the
Right.
number. I can't believe it, yo. 1-800-529-54. So you're fired. Yo. I'm only kidding. You're not fired. 1-800-529-5465. If you call right now, in about 15 minutes, we're going to take your calls. The lines are wide open, and I think it's because people don't realize that we can take calls again. We're back in studio. Usually we were so I guess comfortable because before I would come on the air, our lines were locked with 20 calls already. Before we even got on the air. So we can take your calls right now. The telephone number is 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. If nobody calls, Vanessa, just you call and I'll speak to you. You can just make a telephone call and I'll speak to you on the show, okay?
I got you. Got you, Brad. I know the number.
Oh, okay.
All right. Anything else, guys?
Nope.
That's it.
That's
Boy, you
good.
guys are totally out of practice. Now you're supposed to say, and now it's time for schmoozing with Brad. Oh my God, you guys are completely out of practice.
We need a day. A day in practice.
All right.
There it goes, back to the coffee.
We gotta send Yo-Yo the script again. He completely forgot the script.
Yo, that cup of coffee's for me and you, brother. We gotta wake up.
I'm like, is there anything
Wow.
else? I'm like, is there anything else? No, nothing else I gotta say.
That's it.
That's it.
Tomorrow we got y'all. We'll be right on.
All right. So any event, on Friday, a federal judge ordered that all children currently held in United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement custody for more than 20 days, they have to be released by July 17th because of coronavirus. U.S. District Judge Dolly G. of California said the Trump administration just failed to give the most basic health requirements and basic protections for children. There's approximately 507 children at least that need to be released, and the order essentially forces ICE to adhere to the existing laws. And the existing laws are, if you're a child, you can't, and you're held at the border, you can't be in detention for more than 21 days. And that's been the law since the 1990s. But I don't understand how Donald Trump gets to change laws without Congress having any say in it, which really just drives me crazy because presidents, I've said this on my show multiple times while we were in the pandemic quarantine, presidents enforce laws. They can make regulations on how a law should be processed. So, for example, if I were to go get married and I want to sponsor my wife, the president will make the law, and this is the process in which to sponsor your wife. But what he can't do is say you can't sponsor somebody for a green card. That's Congress to decide. And the president, he's just changed laws, and he just did it by a stroke of a pen, and nobody said anything. So it's kind of like he just grabbed the power and nobody stopped him from doing it. That's basically what happened. So hopefully there are constitutional lawyers out there that are going to sue him. We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, Trump appears ready to move on from this pandemic. It's been reported that measures meant to protect him from catching the virus have scaled up dramatically. he gets checked, guys. He gets checked multiple times a day. Wherever he goes, whether it's a bathroom outside of the White House, whether it's a bathroom or anywhere else, they scrub and sanitize every little area that he goes to. And they make sure that anyone who comes in contact with him has been tested for coronavirus. Yet he walks around saying there's no problem with coronavirus. We have everything under control. And by the way, if you wear a mask, that's governors and Americans and health officials taking away your rights. So I don't know what you think about all of this, but I think he's just trying to, start, my opinion, and you can tell me what you think, but my opinion is it's just about a culture war, about putting us versus them versus us, whoever us is and whoever them is. I don't know, it depends on what subject it is, but it's always an us versus them with Donald Trump, even whether it's, Black Lives Matter, the Me Too movement, masks versus not masks. It goes across everything. I don't know what you think.
I mean, I've just been waiting to get back on the show because our good friend, Mr. Pumpkin Face, whatever we want to call him, has really been on a roll this entire pandemic.
Yeah.
The pumpkin.
We just call him the
he's
pumpkin.
been on a roll this entire pandemic, and it's just like, who's like, what are we doing here, sir? Like, what are the rules and regulations? What are the things to follow? Like, what is the new norm? Like, how are we gonna make sure that we stay safe, right? He keeps saying that, everything's under control, but there's something about that with numbers proving something else. Like, even in Florida, like, they were the first to open it up, and when I was down there, I was a little like, okay, cases are rising again, because it's like, okay, you give people a little bit of freedom, and like, they just take advantage of it. But I mean, this is really a time for the government to, do what we can, people ourselves, to build more awareness. That's really, if there's anything else, even with the entire, like, Black Lives Matter, like, if there's anything else, we need to speak up on these topics and not just, wait around for whatever Trump decides is the best thing moving forward. And we should be educated, and we should be the ones that are really, amongst one another, like, hey, for the good and the better good of you and I and everything else that's to come of this life, like, we got to take care of ourselves right now, y'all.
Well, let me say this, okay? This is what he did this weekend. Let me tell you what he did this weekend while we have race issues going on in America, culture wars going on in America, while we have a pandemic that is killing people at an extraordinarily alarming rate, such an alarming rate that Americans aren't allowed to travel anywhere. There's not a country in the world that wants Americans these days. I mean, there's a few, but for the most part, there aren't many. But let me tell you, while all of this is going on, what he was doing. He played golf this weekend. It was the 271st time he played golf during his presidency. So if you think about it, he played golf 271 times in 3.5 years. That is an average of approximately 2 rounds of golf every week while he's been president.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
While we have a pandemic going on, he found time to sign an executive order to protect American monuments and tweet about it, telling people they're going to go to prison for a very long time if they take down a monument to a racist. Now, Trump also found time this weekend between his golf games and his executive order to put people in prison for taking down monuments for taking down monuments of racists. He found time to retweet a supporter of his shouting, quote, "white power," and this was Sunday morning, and he said, "Thank you to all the great people of the villages. The radical left do-nothing Democrats will fall. Corrupt Joe Biden is shot. See you soon." And I don't even like and so he's putting tweets up of people yelling white power. Corrupt Joe Biden is shot. Is that like a phrase that like someone should go and shoot Joe Biden? What's up with all of this?
What was the phrase?
He said corrupt Joe Biden is shot, and the tweet was a video of somebody yelling white power.
Wow.
This is our president.
This is our president.
Okay.
Speechless. Like, I mean, what do you say about that? This is the leader of our country.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I can say is that I support all of the demonstrations, but if ever there was a time when we can get more done in a voting booth this November, I don't know when that time is going to be. And by the way, there have been rumblings, and I've thought about this. I even told Jilly Bean, I said I had a theory, and this is my Uncle Brad's theory. I have no idea if it's true or not, but I was saying this for the last couple weeks. I was saying to myself, maybe Trump is purposely trying to sabotage the election, that he gets because he doesn't want to be president anymore. Because why would he be doing such horrible things? I mean, only a stupid person would antagonize 90% of the voting public or 80% of the voting public. I mean, because he's doing nothing other than towards his far right base to get people encouraged to go vote for him. We have high unemployment, coronavirus, and I don't know what he's doing that gets people to want to follow him or support him. Maybe he's purposely trying to lose. And I was telling Joe, I said, maybe he's purposely trying to lose. He doesn't want to be president anymore. I told even Joe, I said, maybe he won't even run for president. Maybe he'll tell Pence, you go run for president because
Lord have mercy.
Because the numbers are going to be so low. Because I was thinking, this is my theory. I have no idea if it's true or not. Okay, if he gets voted out of office and the Democrats sweep the Senate and they sweep the House of Representatives and Biden becomes president, you know they're going to go after Trump, and you know he's done some bad stuff, and some dirty stuff. He could end up in jail, or his family could end up in jail, and he can't pardon himself. He can't give himself a pardon. So maybe he gives up the presidency, and he lets Pence give him the pardon. And Pence
do you think his ego will let him?
Yeah, well, his ego will. I don't know. I think he's going to fake an illness. That's my opinion. I have no idea. Meanwhile, I mean, because he had bone spurs, he faked bone spurs to skip out on Vietnam.
There's Brad
so he has a history of faking illnesses to do things he
Brad
doesn't want to do.
Brad usually, like, his predictions usually are at least.
It was like a wild prediction I'm making like 2 weeks ago, and then just recently, it was reported just recently that. And I've been saying this to Jill quietly for 2 weeks. And I said, I don't know. And then it was just reported recently that some Republican operatives, as of yesterday, are now floating the possibility that Trump will drop out. So maybe he's just saying all this crap to purposely force himself out. And then Pence runs, and whether Pence wins or not, Pence gives him a pardon, he doesn't go to jail. What do you think?
That could be something.
It's smart. It makes sense. I would have never even thought that, but it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Well,
go ahead.
All the stuff that he's doing, it literally is. It seems like he's self-sabotaging because it's just like it's ridiculous stuff that he's doing. I mean, he's done that his whole presidency, but like now it's for it to be so close to the election, you would think that he would actually be trying to win our votes.
Well, it said an anonymous GOP operative, somebody who was high up in the Republican Party, told Fox News, it's too early, but if the polls continue to worsen, you can see a scenario where Trump drops out. Now, Trump's poll numbers in recent weeks have trended downward. A recent Fox News poll has the president trailing Joe Biden by 12 points. And right now, many Republican states may end up voting Democrat if this continues.
Wow.
Amen. It's like Tali says, Trump doesn't take presidencies seriously. He makes Americans look so bad.
I mean, it's
so
terrible.
Bad.
I'm embarrassed to be an American. I really am. I used to be proud to be an American until Donald Trump came. It's very true. Not that I'm not proud to be an American. I mean, I guess I still am proud to be an American with Trump or not Trump. I think still this is a great country overall. A lot of problems, but a great country overall. But I'm not proud of our government. That's for sure.
Okay,
Let me tell you,
that's
it's
very
and I'm not proud of
embarrassing
our
when I
and I'm very embarrassed by our leadership.
right.
yeah, there it is. We're
I
embarrassed
traveled
by our
I
leadership.
traveled I traveled so much last year, and when I tell you, it was so embarrassing to just say, "Yeah, I'm from America," and they legit just would just start laughing, like, what are you guys doing over there?" Like it's up to us, you know. So it's embarrassing. Definitely
Do
is
you remember the
embarrassing.
good old days when you would travel and they're like, "Oh, you're an American," and they were all happy to see you. You're the greatest. You're the
What?
best, right?
And they would put us on this pedestal.
Yeah, no
Like
more.
now
No
Yeah.
more.
we're a joke to
No
them.
more.
We're literally a reality
Yeah.
show to them.
You
Ooh,
know what?
Americans, sorry to hear that.
We're barred from almost every country in the world right now. I'm trying to find a place where I can meet my girlfriend who's stuck in Europe. She's barred from coming to America right now. I can't even find a country to go to where we can both go.
Sheesh, that's wild.
I'm thinking of booking a flight on the Virgin Atlantic space flight. Maybe I'll go to Mars.
Just go to space.
Go to space. I don't know what to do.
That's exactly.
Listen,
It's better than here.
Yeah.
Trump isn't the president there.
So
yeah,
let's
but I
just go
wouldn't be
through.
surprised if they banned us from there as well.
Let's just go through quickly coronavirus quickly before we get to our immigration questions. According to statistics from the Johns Hopkins University, there are now over 10 million coronavirus cases worldwide. And there's a lot more than that. That's just people who've actually been tested. In the United States, over 2.6 million people have been diagnosed. Only 2 states in the last week, Connecticut and Rhode Island, have seen a decline in coronavirus cases. 48 states, coronavirus has increased. 2 have decreased. Now people are saying, well, the deaths haven't increased, but the deaths always lag a few weeks behind the symptoms. So just because you get diagnosed with coronavirus today, God forbid, doesn't mean you die 12 hours later. It takes weeks and weeks and weeks to see the death rate go up. I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Florida, where you just came back, Nesquik, reported 9,585 new coronavirus cases. I want you to know I've had at least 3 different colds in the last 4 months, and I went to get tested. I was really hoping I had coronavirus, so at least I could walk around with the antibodies. I still haven't had it. I was so disappointed when I found out. I was like, I went to get the antibody test. I said, please let me have had it. I suffered with 3 different colds. I could have sworn I had
Brad.
it, and I didn't have it. I didn't have it yet, so I still haven't had it.
I'm mad I didn't either.
I'm mad I don't have it. I mean, I
I
don't want
really
to get
wanted
it.
the
I don't
antibiotic.
want to ever get it, but, you know, if I already suffered through a bad cold and I was lying in bed sick thinking I had coronavirus, at least let me have had it, right?
Right.
So meanwhile, 12 states are pausing the reopening. And Texas is getting it bad. Florida's getting it bad. Pence even had events in Florida and Arizona. He canceled it because he didn't want to go there and get himself sick. So Pence wouldn't even go to Florida and Texas.
Wow.
You know, and then as we said, the EU, Europe, they don't want Americans. Can't go to Europe anywhere right now. There's a lot of places you can't go, but Europe will take China, where the Wuhan virus started. Europe will take Canadians. They just won't take Americans. Jamaica's reopening. That's good news.
Yes,
Did you see that?
I did see that.
We could all
I
go
did see that.
Bradshaw Live on location in Jamaica. What do you think, guys?
I'm down.
You're down for that?
I'm all the way down.
Are
all
you
the
down
way
for
down.
that? Bradshaw Live
On Brad.
location? On Brad.
On Brad.
How about this? Bradshaw Live on Brad on location. You like
There you
that?
go.
You like that, right?
I love it. I love it.
I think a lot of our
Sign me
squad
up.
would like it too. Bradshaw Live on Brad on
I'm-
location. I don't
I'm
think
sure we can get-
I
we
don't
can
like
get
the
a
on
good
Brad
amount of
part. That's the
people there.
only part of the plan I don't like. The on Brad part.
Right. Well, why not? That's the best part. What?
Right. Right. That's the part I was looking forward to most.
I was thinking like Bradshaw Live on Yo-Yo on location.
Oh, please. Ooh, y'all get stranded.
The way payroll's set up.
You're like, that'll take a
Y'all will
long
get
time, right?
stranded. Y'all will get stranded.
All right, guys. Well, that is our schmooze for the day. We got to get into answering some immigration questions, Yo-Yo and Nesquik. Excuse me, boss lady. Can you tell everybody, we only have 3 people on hold, what they need to do? Share, call, like, thumbs up, all that stuff. Is it coming back to you, Yo-Yo? Is it starting to slowly come back?
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right. Why don't you go do your thing, guys?
All right, everybody. First things first, we are accepting calls. So you guys have to call right now. Please call the line. We have only 3 people. So if you guys are free, I can guarantee you we're not going to get through all of our social media questions today. So if you guys call right now, you can get a guaranteed answer to your question. So please, 1-800-529-5465. You guys remember it now. For Facebook, I need you all to start sharing. All right, we need these numbers to go back up. Right, we've taken a break with all 3 of us, so we're back now. We need you guys to show everybody that we are back. We are ready to start again. So make sure you guys share. Just click that little arrow that's right next to the on the bottom right-hand side of the video and share it to anybody's page. You can share it in inbox. You can share it into any group. I like to go into different groups, different communities, especially in New York or Florida, anything where you know that people are going to need help. For instance, that there's so many different immigration out there. I just research them and share it in there.
Yo-Yo, I think you got to talk into your mic better because I'm not hearing you fully.
You can't hear me?
Now I hear you. You got to talk into your mic better. There you go.
Okay. There you go. All right. So please do that. And now also put in all your social media questions.
You got to put your mic right to your mouth. Right to your mouth. There you go.
Still?
Yeah, now it's better.
Okay. There you go. Okay.
Eat your microphone, Yo-Yo. Stick it in the mouth. Okay. No, but put it really close because you break it up otherwise.
All right. So everybody on Facebook, please put
better.
in all of your social media questions in the comment section right now as well. All right. And that's quick. What are we going to do on YouTube?
Okay, friends, you should have done it already, but if you haven't, make sure that you subscribe, you guys. Make sure that you press that subscribe button and that you turn on the notification bell so you guys know when Brad Show Live is online every day, Monday through Friday. Make sure that you share this post, friends. Like Yo-Yo was saying, you guys already know all the knowledge that Brad brings, all the great information and all the questions that he answers for y'all. So let people know that this is happening here and now, you guys. Make sure that you thumbs up and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Brad Show Live.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So you already know what time it is. It's the meat and potatoes of the show. This is where you guys call in and get your answers.
All right, guys, keep your fingers crossed. Let's hope the phone lines start to heat up. Michael from Dallas, Texas, you are on with Brad Show Live. How are you?
Hey, Brad.
Hey, Michael. What's going on? Good evening.
I'm fine. I was just calling to welcome you guys back to the stage.
Thank you.
The studio.
Thank you.
And you're doing a very great job.
Thank you.
And, thank you very much. You've been helping a lot of people.
Okay. What's going on?
Yeah, we're cool. Just sitting at home and...
You have a question or you're just calling to say hello?
No, just calling to say hello.
Oh, thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. Let's get to the next call, though. Let's see how we can help people. But I appreciate you calling, Michael. And thanks for watching. By the way, spread the word. How'd you hear about us, Michael?
Well, I'm a very, very huge fan of yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you calling in, Michael. Be well.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, what happened to my thing? Oh, click. Michael didn't... I don't know. Michael was just calling to say hello. Let's go to Nav in San Francisco. Nav.
Hi, Brad.
Hey, how are
I'm
you?
here. Thanks. I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Good. What's
Great
going
to
on?
see you guys
Thank
online.
You. Thank you. What's going on?
Brad, I have a question, actually a couple of questions. So I have filed for, my company has filed for the employment-based green card, and I completed my interview last year, April. The dates were not current at that time, and it retrograde. Our case was transferred to NBC post-interview.
Right.
So what does this mean?
It just means that they sent that. I'm sure they approved your case. They don't need another interview. And they just don't have enough space in the local office to hold everything. So they ship it back to the National Benefit Center, which is a big office with a big warehouse of files. And somewhere on the computer system, they have your priority date. And when the priority date is reached, somebody at the National Benefit Center will go through your file, make sure your fingerprints are cleared, maybe ask you for an updated job letter, and then send you a green card. That's probably what's going to happen.
Okay, so it's more just checking back the papers.
Yeah. It's just because the local officer needs to get it off his desk and he needs to ship it somewhere.
Okay, and then how long is the medical valid for? Because when we went for interview, we gave... Sorry?
1 year.
1 year.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think the medical would have expired because we submitted in April 19 when we went for interview.
Yeah, but you're adjusting your status here through an employment-based case. The Trump proclamation banning immigration has no effect on you. The proclamation only affects people applying for employment-based or work visas in another country. So adjusting your status, you're able to do.
Okay, perfect. And then the other question, which I think I've heard your videos before. So my wife, she had a petty theft back in 2012, which was dismissed through diversion. Interviewer did talk about it during the interview and said it's not a problem since it's dismissed through diversion. So what's your view on it?
My view is if it's a diversion program, it's not a criminal conviction for immigration. One-time arrest through a diversion program, you're going to get your green card 99.999% of the time. I don't think it's an issue at all. You still always have to prove good moral character. Getting arrested one time and having a case dismissed, that's the diversion program. So the diversion program is they say, you don't have to plead guilty to anything. Go do X, Y, Z, and then we'll dismiss the case. So you never pled guilty to anything. So I think you'll be fine. If you end up getting arrested 20 times for the same exact thing and you keep going through a diversion program, then, and I'm being facetious, no one's going to get arrested 20 times. But, then they may say, hey, you have a moral character issue. But one time, it's not a problem.
Got it. And since this is for my wife, so we can expect the green cards coming together, right? It's not that they will hold her for further checking and then...
Correct. So
okay, but that doesn't impact any of my...
No, the only thing you got to worry about is the priority date. That's it. Other than that, you should be okay.
Got it. Perfect. Thanks a lot, Brad.
Thanks for watching.
Great watching you again and love the show. Thanks a lot for all the help.
Thank you, Nav. My pleasure. All right, let's go to John in Miami. John, how are you? John. John going once. John going twice.
Yeah,
John.
hello, Brad.
John, you was about to hang up on you. What's going on?
Hello.
You got to shut your...
Hello.
John, listen to the
Yes,
phone.
bro.
Listen to your phone.
John, you was about to hang up on you. What's going on?
Yes.
You got to shut your...
right.
John,
1 second.
John, listen.
All right, John, listen to me. Okay? When you call, don't listen to the show. Listen to the actual phone call through your phone, because the show, there's a 45-second delay. So what you're watching on Facebook or YouTube happened 45 seconds ago. Okay? If you listen to the phone, that's happening directly right now. So let's go back to John, and let's hope he's listening. Let's see. You ready? 1, 2, 3. John, how are you?
Directly right now. So let's go back to John.
John still doesn't listen. All right, somebody talk to John. We'll get back to him. Let's go to Julia in Norfolk, Virginia. Julia.
Hi, Brad.
How are you?
This is Julia.
How you doing?
I'm fine. I'm doing okay, and I hope you're doing okay also.
I'm doing good, thank you.
The reason why I'm calling is I'm in my third renewal for a green card, meaning I've lived here for 54 years. I'm just worried if, number one...
Did you say 54 years you've been living here with a green card?
Yes, I have.
Okay, you have a southern accent. You don't even sound like... You sound like you were born in the South.
No, I'm actually from Bermuda. I've just lived here since I was 4 years old.
All right.
But anyways, with the new Trump rules and stuff, I'm really concerned that my green card may not get renewed. Not for any specific reason, but just because they might find something wrong. And my second question is, I called USCIS on June 22nd. They said to call to to get the info passes for your I-551. I called them, and they said that I was not eligible because I did not have an emergency. But my card is expiring on August 3rd. What should I do?
All right, couple things. All right, I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
You've been living here since you were 4 years old. In essence, you're as American as me, okay? Because I don't remember my birth to my 4th year anyway, okay? And we're probably similar ages, all right? So you're as American as me. You live here your whole life. You got nowhere else in the world to go back and live to. How come you never applied for your citizenship?
I just never thought about it because I was never affected by anything.
Wow.
My mother, when they used to have to do the address updates, my mother used to do that every year, and I knew I couldn't vote. So
Well, don't you want to vote? Don't you want to vote?
I never wanted to vote until this election, to be honest with you.
All right. So this.
But anyways,
this is what you need to do. You need to do 2 things right now. Okay. Number one, you got to file an I-90 for a replacement green card. And when
I did do that.
Okay.
I did do that.
And then when you go and they bring you for after your April 3rd, you can make an InfoPass appointment to go locally, and they'll stamp a temporary stamp in your passport. But until August 3rd, they're not going to do it. Okay. Number one. And number two, I would really think long and hard about becoming a citizen. I mean, I think you're crazy to live here for 50 some odd years with a green card and never apply for citizenship. This is your country. This is your home. And I think you should become a citizen.
Yeah, but there's I've looked at the new, I did think about that with the new president. And I looked at it one question, and I don't want to reveal it over the telephone. But there's one question on there I think is going to get me disqualified, and I'm scared it's going to get my green card revoked.
Okay, so then why don't we
It's
have
not criminal or nothing.
All right, so why don't we have a consultation? We can have a personal consultation. Hold on one second, okay? If you don't want to reveal it.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Let's go to Miguel in Amarillo, Texas. Miguel.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I have a question.
Yes.
Fine. How are you doing?
Good, good. What's going on?
Okay, well, I had an accident. I was with a girl. I got her pregnant. I did everything I had to do. You know, I married the girl.
That's the was the accident. You got her pregnant. Was the accident?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I was making sure. Okay, go ahead.
So I got her pregnant. So I went ahead and did everything right. Got her married. Got married with her because she's not a legal citizen here.
Okay.
Well, when she gave birth in January.
Congratulations.
January 21st.
Congratulations.
And once she had the baby, she told me, "You either fix my papers, or you're never gonna see your son." So after that day, after she gave birth, she left the apartment.
Why would she say that if you were marrying her and doing the right thing? Did she feel?
I don't know. I said we got married in.
She feel
we got married in June.
Thing? So did you?
What was that?
Did you file papers for her between June and the time she gave birth?
No, sir.
Why not?
I don't know if she did.
Well, she couldn't have because you have to sign the papers.
That thing, we were in the process of doing all that,
right?
And that's when we just got into an argument, and she had this bad habit of hitting me.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so I'm on probation, so I couldn't do anything, you know, or I'll be going to jail.
Right, of course.
So one of these altercations, you know, she just left, and it was around January. It was like 2 weeks.
Well, let me say this to you, okay? You're under no obligation to sponsor anybody you don't want to sponsor. Okay, you're the American citizen. You're the captain of the boat. You can decide whether you want to sponsor her or not. And if she thinks that you are not going to see her child, there's something called family court, and you have every right to go into family court if she refuses to allow you to see your child, and you have every right to get visitation and even custody if required. Now, if she takes the baby and goes back to her home country, that's a different thing. You know, you're gonna have a hard time chasing her into another country to see her child. But assuming she's in the United States of America, there's family court. Just get a visitation order.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm scared of. I did file for my son was born on January 21st. I filed for child support on the 22nd, the next day, once she kicked me out the hospital.
Now,
and ever since
you didn't apply for child support. You applied for visitation. She's the one with the child, so she would apply for child support from you. You wouldn't.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. So I went ahead and did that, but with all this corona going on, I haven't seen him since that day. So it's been already, and I don't have my court date till July 28th.
Right. Well,
And I do have text messages where she does state if she does get deported, she's going to take our son.
right.
And I have recordings where she tells me, if you don't fix my papers, you're never going to see your son. And it's been 6 months that I haven't seen him.
Well, those are two different issues. Number one, the local family court I don't have control over. So if you feel that July 28th is too far away, you need to go to the family court and say, hey, can I get an earlier date? I need to see my child. And maybe there's emergency application you can make for an earlier date. I don't know what the local rules are in Amarillo, Texas. And as far as if you don't do this and fix my papers, you're never going to see your child. I don't know if that's a woman who loves you. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
You know, so and I would say, well, I'm going to see my child anyway, but you know, I'm not going to do anything. No one's going to force me to do anything I don't want to do.
Yes, sir.
So that's, you know, my advice is this is a family court issue. It's not an immigration issue. It's a family court issue, and you got to go to family court. And if your court date's not till July 28th, go to the family court tomorrow and see if you can move it faster. Say, I want to see my child. This is an emergency. She may take my child and leave the country.
Okay, and for all that, I do need an attorney. That's why it makes it so hard, because I can't afford an attorney.
Well, then in family court, there's clerks generally in family court that will help you.
Yes, sir.
And it's not something that, and by the way, this is something, even if you were in New York, that was beyond my expertise. I'm not a family court lawyer. I'm an immigration lawyer.
Yes, sir.
All right. So
okay.
I would go to family court tomorrow, speak to a clerk, and see if they will help you file whatever the applications are to speed up your court date.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate it.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Let's go to Janice in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Janice.
Hi, Uncle Brad.
How are you, Janice?
I'm good.
What's going on?
My son just got his citizenship, and he wanted to file for his dad, stepmother, and 2 kids in Jamaica. Can you tell me what documents do I need from them down there to start the process?
All right. So who wants to file for who? Your who?
My son filing for his dad, stepmother, with 2 young kids.
Okay, so your son's a U.S. citizen. He's over 21.
Yes.
Okay, and he wants to file for his father, and he also wants to file for the father's wife. How long has the father been married to this woman?
About maybe 5 months ago.
Okay. So number one, your son would only be able to file for his father. He would not be able to file for the wife, because in order to file for the wife, they would have had to have been married before he was 18 years old. So right now we can only file for the father. And when a U.S. citizen's son over the age of 21 files for a mother or a father, that son can only file for that mother or father. We can't include the children on that application. So out of this family of 4, only the father is going to come. And that would be by filing and I'll tell you what we'll do with the rest of the family in a second. And that would be by filing an I-130 visa petition for the father and getting it approved. And if you were you're the mother, right, of this child, I assume? It's your son?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Were you ever married to this man?
No.
Okay. So not only does he have to prove that this man is his biological father with a birth certificate where his name was put on at the time of birth, but he also has to show that this father was in his life between birth and 18 with some evidence of documentation to show that this was not an absentee father, whether it's pictures together, or maybe proof that he sent money for support, or maybe school records showed that he's the father, baptismal certificate, affidavits from people saying he was in your son's life, but something to show he was not an absentee father. He had a bona fide relationship with this boy between birth and 18. You would file an I-130 visa petition, and then eventually the father will, do affidavits of support and everything else, and eventually come here with a green card. And then he would, as soon as he enters America with a green card, he would have to turn around and file his own I-130 visa petition for his wife and children to come follow to join him, and that would be about another 1.5 years later. Now, with all of that being said, there is a proclamation right now that the only family members that can come through sponsorship are spouses and children under 21, not parents, not children over 21, not brothers and sisters. But start that I-130 process anyway, because it's a good year, and this proclamation is going to be well over by then. Hopefully, coronavirus is under control. Hopefully, God willing, we have a Democratic president, no more pumpkin in the House, in the White House, and I think that hopefully in 2021, immigration will get a lot easier. So start that I-130 visa processing now.
Okay, thank you, Uncle
You're
Brad.
very welcome. Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go to, by the way, we have a lot of empty calls. I guess people aren't used to me taking calls. We haven't taken calls on air for months. So do we have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson with my face attached to his body? Because you could see that there he is, a much thinner, more muscular Uncle Brad, looking like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson with my head on him. That's right. Ask me your immigration question. You can call right now, 1-800-529-5465. We still have plenty of empty lines. Let's go to Tejas in Chicago, Illinois. Tejas.
Hey, Brad.
How are you?
How are you doing?
Good. What's going on?
So actually, I got married in 2018 December to an American citizen. I'm basically from India, and I came on a student visa. Then I got my H1. Okay. So then, as soon as I got married, my wife was reluctant to file my green card petition. But later on, eventually they did it after 3 months or 4 months, and suddenly, and after that, I came to know she had a lot of debts under her name, credit card debts, and her family and everyone was torturing me for money for a while, and I couldn't take it, and I was going through a very rough patch that time. So I attempted suicide and everything.
So you had the H-1B, you got married, this woman had debts, she was stressing you out.
Yeah.
Did you get a green card?
Yeah.
You not get a green card?
No, I didn't get a green card. I filed for divorce immediately because they were threatening me that...
you filed for a VAWA case? You filed an abuse case?
So what happened is in December, my divorce got finalized, and in January, I came to know about VAWA. I was not knowing about VAWA. So I got an attorney in Arizona, and she filed for my VAWA case. Okay. By March, it was filed, and I got my prima FICA approved a month back, right? So what do you think? I just want to know what are the chances of me getting it.
I don't know. I mean, all you've told me so far is about stress, financial stress. Financial stress.
Yeah.
Financial stress is not extreme emotional abuse. Now, maybe financial stress is part of a bigger picture of extreme emotional abuse, but your wife with credit card debts and stressing you out for money in of itself is not extreme emotional abuse. That's just called, stressing out about money.
They were threatening me to get deported.
If you're asking me the chances, that I don't have the slightest idea, because I don't know the specifics about your emotional abuse, the specifics about what was said, how it was said, how it made you feel, how it affected you physically, the emotional abuse. I don't know anything about that, and I would only be able to know about that if I read through your entire application. So short of that, I got a magic 8 ball. Magic 8 ball I could ask, but that's about it.
Okay.
But if you would like, what I can do is have a consultation with you and review your case, and then I'll be happy to give you my opinion. But I can't tell you right now on a live show.
Okay. Because my attorney, she had taken all my depression report and my hospital reports when I was admitted in hospital when I attempted suicide or something like that.
Well, if you were hospitalized due to stress, perhaps it was a result of emotional abuse. So we'll see. Yeah. Let's see what it is. Hold on one second, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's go to Jenny from the Bronx. Jenny from the Bronx.
Hi, how are you today?
How are you doing?
Quick question for you.
Yes.
Just trying to get some guidance in reference to a senior who's incarcerated in a city jail and came out positive with COVID-19, qualifies to be released due to his age, being positive, and so forth, so on, but has an immigration warrant. So we're just trying to figure out, does it make sense to try to pursue to remove him from in there and then immigration pick him up?
Immigration would pick him up unless he's bail eligible from immigration, which I don't know.
So his wife had submitted an I-30 form and had asked to sponsor them, and they were in the midst of that happening
so
when
Jenny,
he got incarcerated.
This is the deal. If he has a hold on him by immigration, they're going to detain him.
He does.
Okay? Whether or not immigration will give him bail, I don't know. Depends on what he's guilty of. Does he have relief from deportation? Will he show up to court? And what's the situation with Corona? So, the only way you will ever find out is do the bail, get him released from, or if there's no bail, just get him released from jail. Immigration will have a detainer on him. They have 72 hours to come pick him up. If they don't, he'll be released. If they do come, then we got to deal with bail from immigration. But you won't know until you do it. Now, immigration detention is generally worse than criminal detention. It sucks, but it's true. So, you're taking that chance, but otherwise he'll sit in jail. So, that's a decision you guys got to make. But you won't know any of this until we could always call an immigration officer, certainly, before any of this and see if we can get a bail. We can try that, obviously, but I don't know what the situation is.
Okay. It's too long to discuss it. And then your consultations, how does it work?
You hold on.
Do a consultation with him?
Yeah, you can do a consultation. But hold on 1 second, and somebody off the air will explain everything. All right. So, by the way, we're going to take some more immigration calls in a minute. So please call right now, 1-800-529-5465. Brad, on the body of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, says there's plenty of people that we can still take so far. But in the meantime, for the next 2 minutes, while we're going to hear from attorneys Jenny Kim and Shannon Laguerre-Mangrat, tell us about their immigration stories. June is Immigration Heritage Month, and this is Spar and Bernstein's Attorney Close Up with partners Jenny Kim and Shannon Laguerre. Let's watch.
Well, my family came to the United States in 1985 when I was still very young. My family is from South Korea. That's where I was born. I was born in South Korea, but the United States is my home, particularly New York, because this is where I have spent the majority of my life. We were able to come to the United States as green card holders based on a petition that my grandfather had filed on my dad's behalf as a married child, which falls under the F3 preference category. I mean, that was in 1985, so the waiting periods were not as long as they are now, and my grandfather was able to come to the U.S. as a result of his oldest daughter filing for him when she became a U.S. citizen, and she actually obtained her permanent residency after she started working as a nurse here.
My family is from the Republic of Haiti. It's a small island in the Caribbean. So basically my mom and my dad came in the 70s, and they met each other here and fell in love and got married. My dad went into the military as soon as possible, and then afterwards he became a U.S. citizen and petitioned for my mom. Then at that point, basically, my mom petitioned for my grandma. She came here, and now basically everyone is here, actually. I don't have any family back in Haiti. We do go back on vacation. My husband is also Haitian, and so that's our background. So for example, one of the reasons that I got into immigration law is because I was living in Miami. There were a lot of Haitians coming in on boats, also a lot of Cubans coming in on boats also. So basically the Haitians actually needed representation. So I go into the detention centers and do know your rights presentations in Creole because I do speak Creole. And then at that point, basically I represented them in court. A lot of them were able to win their asylum cases. So it was one one of a very satisfying time in my life, knowing that I was able to give back in a way to my culture, my family, and I know that I made my grandma proud doing that.
All right, let's go to Leslie in Spring Valley, New York. Leslie.
Yeah, yes, but hello.
Hello, Leslie.
Thanks for good work.
Leslie.
I thank you because you back on
Leslie,
studio.
it's like you're in a submarine. I don't hear a word you're saying. Take a step somewhere.
Yes, you hear me now?
I hear you a little better. Yes. What's your question?
Yes, my question is I applied for VAWA. They send me a receipt notice, and then I apply also for a work permit to renew my work permit because I had this review adjustment pending. But I don't receive any
Leslie, I apologize. I'm going to put you on hold for a second because we really don't hear you, and I'm going to let somebody speak to you off the air so we can get a better connection, and we'll come back to you in a minute. Hold on. Let's go to Johnson in Houston, Texas. Johnson.
Hello, Brad.
Hi, Johnson. How are you?
Pretty good. I just want to thank you for your service.
My pleasure.
And I have a quick question. Can a Nigerian that has a 10-year green card, can they file for his child and a spouse with this new immigration rules?
Well, there is a Nigerian ban. You should file for them anyway and fight it through to the end, because who knows what it'll be in a year from now when you file for them, because it does take a year. So I'd put the I-130 in. I would process all the way to the end. But right now, if you're asking me if they were to get an appointment today at the U.S. Embassy, would they get an appointment? The answer is no, they wouldn't. But we're not worried about today. We're worried about a year from now. So my answer is file, and we'll fight it out. It's a little precarious, obviously, because we don't know how it's going to end. But I can tell you, if you don't start, it never comes to an end. So file.
Okay, sir.
You got it?
You have an idea of how long it takes for the I-130 to get approved?
About 9 or 10 months. That's why I'm saying do it. By the time it gets approved, Joe Biden's going to be president. Fingers crossed.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah, bye.
Let's go to Sandra in Atlanta, Georgia. Sandra.
Hello.
Hi, Sandra. How are you?
I am okay. During the pandemic, my husband unemployment benefit, and he didn't get it for like over a month. And things were really rough because there was shutdown in Georgia, and I didn't have a job because I'm not working. He's the only one working, but he lost his job. So he had to apply for food stamp because we needed food. So
he's the one who's applying for a green card?
No.
He's the U.S. citizen. You're the one applying for the green card.
He's the citizen.
Okay. All right. When did he apply for food stamps?
He applied for food stamps like last month.
All right. So I'm going to tell you, you're going to have a huge problem getting a green card.
What?
You are going to have a big problem getting a green card. Obviously, you need to eat. But if if your husband's collecting government need-based assistance, which is food stamps, SNAP, Medicaid, under the new Trump laws, that is a double negative. And unless something miraculous happens, you're going to have an extraordinarily difficult time getting a green card, because the government's going to say your husband can't support himself, let alone somebody else.
So what can I do to correct the
it's hard
anomaly?
to get off as quickly as possible, obviously, but you can't starve to death. So you got to choose between food and a green card. You got to choose food every time. I don't have the right answer for you, but hopefully your husband's collecting unemployment. Hopefully he finds a job soon, anything. But, getting the food stamps is going to be a huge, huge problem with you getting a green card.
No.
It's a terrible thing.
It is.
It is.
Thank you.
All right. Best of luck. I don't have a better answer for you, unfortunately. Choose between food and a green card. That disgusting pumpkin in the White House is making people do this in the middle of a pandemic. It's awful. Absolutely awful. All right. John from Miami. John, how are you?
Hi, Chad. Can you hear me now?
A little better. You're still breaking up, but a little better. Let's see if we can hear you though.
Yes, so Chad, my question here today is I'm on a protected status and I've got arrested and I was placed on the with full probation for a fleeing and eluding. How will that affect me?
All right, so you're on temporary protected status from where? What country?
From Miami.
No.
Well, from
what originally?
From Haiti.
From Haiti. And you were arrested for looting?
Fleeing and eluding?
Loitering.
Fleeing and eluding.
Say that again?
Fleeing and eluding.
Oh, fleeing and eluding.
Correct.
Okay. Was this a misdemeanor?
Well, it was a felony, a third-degree felony.
Is that what you pled guilty to, a third-degree felony?
No, I pled guilty to. I didn't plead guilty. They placed me on a with full probation.
What were you found guilty of? I don't know off the top of my head. As smart as I am, I don't know the penal law of Florida like that. So fleeing, eluding, I don't know if that's a felony or a misdemeanor in Florida. So I'm asking you.
It's a felony.
So if you pled guilty to a felony, that's a deportable offense?
Yes, yes, it is.
Most likely, yes.
But
so is it going to affect you? The answer is yes. It's going to affect you big time.
Well, I'm asking. I was placed on probation, on a withhold probation. So I didn't plead guilty. It's a probation.
Well, was this a diversion program you went through?
Well, it's probation.
All right,
do you know what probation is?
I know what probation is, John, but you're not explaining it fully to me. If you pled guilty to something, you pled guilty to a crime. Probation is a sentence. Probation is a punishment. You don't get probation unless you plead guilty to something. They don't give you a sentence and you didn't plead guilty to anything. So what I'm suggesting to you is you pled guilty and maybe you don't even realize, but you pled guilty to something. So what I think you need to do, John, is have a consultation with me and send me in advance what your disposition, which is what you were arrested for and what you were found guilty of, and we'll see what we can do to help you. Okay? But hold on one second.
All right.
All right, let's go to Eduardo in Tampa, Florida. Eduardo.
Hey, Brad, how are you?
How are you, Eduardo?
I'm pretty good, thanks. So this is my case. Late November, I applied for U.S. citizenship, got my interview in August 2017, didn't get my answer until January 2018. My citizenship was denied based on the fact that USCIS doesn't have any jurisdiction on my case. It appears that they approved my permanent residence by their mistake. Reason why is because in 2009, I got what is called withholding of removal. Mm-hmm. And then I got married. Mm-hmm. My wife
But you never reopened your deportation case.
Yeah, I got married. My wife got asylum. Then she made a petition for me.
Right.
Yeah, I got my asylum.
So let me understand. The general gist is, let me go back and repeat what you told me so I understand we're talking about the same thing. All right? Yeah. You were in removal yourself. You got withholding of removal, which is they said your life is in danger if you go back to whatever country you're originally from. We're not going to deport you. You're not getting a green card. You're not getting asylum. We're just going to agree not to deport you. And that's called withholding of removal. And then sometime thereafter, you were married. Your wife is granted asylum. So then she files for her green card, and then you file for your green card, and you get it. And now you're like, great. And now you go to apply for your citizenship, and everything blows up in your face because they say, wait a second. You couldn't get a green card through your wife because you were in deportation. You got withholding or removal. You got to reopen that deportation case and then file for a green card. You can't go from you're ordered deported with a withholding or removal. Basically, withholding or removal says you're deported, but we're just not going to deport you. And you can't go from you're deported, but we're not going to deport you to I'm going to adjust my status. You got to go back to the immigration judge, reopen your case, and say, I'd like to reopen my deportation case, and then go apply for your green card. So that was the mistake, and that's where it was caught in your citizenship, I guess. Does it sound
Yes.
right to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds right to me. So I guess my
So what has happened since your citizenship?
I talked to some attorneys, and they advised for my wife, which is now a U.S. citizen, to make a petition for me, which we did.
Okay.
And the thing is that it's been taking a long time, and it appears that the first time that we filed it, the attorney that made the petition made a mistake, which is it appears that in the past you will go to the immigration officer and you sign an affidavit. My wife will sign an affidavit right there.
I got a question, Eduardo. I assume the first time around when you got your green card through the asylum, you had an attorney, and maybe even had an attorney when you did your citizenship. Is that true?
No.
No,
you didn't have an attorney for both cases.
Both cases you did on your own, and now you hired this attorney who's screwing up. Got it. Continue.
Yeah. So then, he filed a petition, the 130, and he made a mistake. So he, he asked us to cancel that petition and refile, which we did.
Okay.
And right now it's waiting on immigration
and my
to
guess
answer
is
that.
my guess is that because you had to withdraw it was because your wife has to request in writing a bona fide marriage exemption and prove that this is a bona fide marriage, and that lawyer never did it. So therefore, for not writing a one-sentence letter, the lawyer screwed up the whole thing. All right, and now you're doing it again. Okay, and now your question is, how long is this going to take?
First, that will be my question. My second question is, at 2010, when I got my asylum approved through my wife's petition, wouldn't that sufficient to go to the judge?
No,
because
now she's a citizen, so you can't file her to join anymore. She has to refile for you.
Okay.
Okay.
I see.
But the answer to when will it be approved, Magic 8 Ball knows. I don't know. Okay, or a fortune teller would know, or the Magic 8 Ball. When will this I-130? It says the Magic 8 Ball says the outlook is good for an approval, just doesn't know when. But that's exactly what it says.
Gotcha.
When was it filed? How long ago? The bona fide marriage exemptions take well over a year. So I don't know when it was filed originally.
It was filed in April 2019. We got the interview notice in March, but due to the pandemic, it was canceled, and now we're still waiting for when they're going to reschedule.
All right, so the good news is you got an appointment, so you're on the radar. We just got to wait for, are you in Florida? You got to wait for immigration to open. They're having a coronavirus spike again. So, I mean, the answer is, when are you going to get a visa appointment? When are you going to get an interview when coronavirus calms down in Florida? So nobody really knows.
And basically, what's my current status?
Right now, you're on withholding of removal.
Okay.
Right? You don't have a green card. You got nothing because it was never granted properly. You're still withholding removal. So, in essence, really, if you need to show your legal status, you need to renew your work permit through the withholding of removal. But you should never have had a green card.
I applied for work permit, and it was denied because the reason they gave me is that benefits were provided through another means.
Right, which is the green card.
Correct.
Well, then I guess until, when you got your citizenship denied, did they deny it by saying that you're not a lawful resident?
No, they didn't mention anything like that. They just say we don't have jurisdiction in your case.
All right, so then I guess at this point the position is you still have a green card, although it's not lawful green card. But I wouldn't travel or anything. But if you ask my opinion, what your status is right now, your status is withholding or removal.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So it's just a matter of time.
Yes, just hang in there. If immigration starts scheduling interviews in where you are in Tampa and you're not getting a call, that's when you call me back.
Okay, will do.
All right,
thanks.
Hang in there.
All right, thanks.
All right. Let's go to Johnny in Dallas, Texas. Johnny.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm calling in behalf of my mother, and so we filed our VAWA case on 2018. It started on 2018, and recently, by this month on the 25th, our EAD got denied. but our I-360, which is our main VAWA case, it says the card is being processed. And both mine and my mom's I-485 got transferred to another a station or another place. What does that mean?
You filed an adjustment and your mom and yours cases got transferred to another office. What does that mean? Is that your question?
No. What does the card is being produced mean? And do you know, why did our EAD get like denied at the same time? It happened like in 2 days' notice, both the things.
It said your card is being produced and then you got a denial letter?
Yeah, for our EAD, our employment authorization got denied, but in our VAWA case, it says a new card is being produced.
Did you file a 2 different work permit applications, one through the VAWA and one through an adjustment?
No.
Okay, I don't know why card being produced means your card's being produced. That's exactly what it means. They're manufacturing it, they're going to send it to you. Why did you get a letter 2 days later saying your card was denied?
No, it says our work permit, our employment authorization case was denied, but for the I-360, it says a new card is being produced in the VAWA.
The new card meaning your green card.
Oh.
So maybe what they're saying is your work permit's denied because you've been granted your permanent residence. Is that what it
means?
I don't know. I don't know what you're reading. Okay, but I know that they're not going to grant a work permit. They're going to send a denial for a work permit if your green card is approved. Did you file an adjustment of status application?
Yeah, an I-360.
No, that's not an adjustment. That's a VAWA case. That's just a VAWA case. That's not a adjustment. So I think Johnny, why you got your cards being produced and then you got a denial is you're screwing up the case somewhere, because you should have had an adjustment pending, and it just sounds like you guys don't know what you're doing. So hold on 1 second. I think you need a consultation. Let me look at what you're looking at, and I can fix it. That's for sure. Hold on 1 second. Let's go to Leslie in Spring Valley, New York. Leslie.
Hello, Brad.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for a good job.
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, I applied for VAWA, and then I have the adjustment status pending.
Okay.
And then I would like to know if I can divorce my wife and remarry while my VAWA is still pending.
If your I-360 is still pending, you can divorce your wife, yes. You cannot remarry until your I-360 is approved.
Oh, okay.
So divorce, yes. Remarry, no. Once the I-360 is approved, then you can remarry.
Oh, okay.
Got
so
it?
I have a second question.
Yes.
Also, I applied for a work permit on the C9. Do I have any adjustment?
Say that again?
I request a work permit, but I never received a receipt notice for the work permit. Is it possible?
Did you requested a work permit, but you didn't receive it yet? Is that your question?
No, I didn't receive any receipt for the work permit.
You didn't get a receipt for it. When you requested the work permit, did you request it under C31 or C9?
When I applied for VAWA, I request on the C31, and then I request also C9.
Okay, so the C9, you should get a receipt for. The C31, you're not going to get a receipt for because your I-360 is not approved. But you should have gotten a receipt for the C9. So if you haven't, how long has it been?
It's been 4 months.
I would call USCIS and just make sure they have that application pending.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Good luck.
All right. All right.
All right. Yo-Yo and Vanessa, I think it's time for something we like to call. You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
You fell asleep?
Oh, yeah.
You fell asleep
No.
during this? All right.
Never. We're here.
All right, you ready for social
Not
media
I.
check-in?
Of course.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Missed that little jingle.
Right.
All right, so what do we got?
All right, our first one comes from AJ Powell saying, I have a criminal record for dishonesty type offenses. I have a friend who is a U.S. citizen and would be staying there if I was granted entry. I have not been in trouble for about 6 years and want to travel from the U.K. Can I do this?
Not with some dishonesty visas, not some with dishonesty things unless you get a waiver, because he said multiple arrests. So that at least sounds like 2 crimes of moral turpitude or more, so he's going to need a waiver. So,
Okay,
the answer is yes, but you need a waiver first. So it's not just show up on an airplane.
Got you.
I might pronounce this wrong, but the next one comes from Sampol Bamrangjirion. If I did not win DV lottery, should recheck every month until September 30th, 2021, because some people who won may disqualify. Is it true?
No, because they take that into consideration. So if you didn't win, you didn't win, unfortunately.
Okay, next one is from Andrea Barna saying, I'm waiting for my oath ceremony appointment in New York. What do you think? When will we be starting the ceremony in the city?
I hope soon. I pray to God soon. I don't have an answer. I think eventually they'll have to do it by video, but I don't know when.
Got you.
By the way, if I had to take a guess, it's because Trump is purposely delaying it because they could easily do it by video. He just doesn't want to make more American citizens for the November election.
All right. Next one comes from Brisibi Breeze Perez, and she asked, what is the fate for Nigerians on IR1 application currently on AP?
What is the fate of Nigerians on AP, I guess advanced parole? Nigerians can travel on advanced parole. Just go for a short trip and come back.
Okey-doke.
Okay, I don't know if this makes sense to you, but Nisha is saying, when will you do the session about questions and sessions about family immigration?
When am I doing those sessions? Right now.
Yeah.
Ask your question.
Yeah.
So is that what they're talking about?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they asked now.
Yeah.
Go to the next one, Yo-Yo.
All right, yeah. Chidima saying, my temporary green card is not up till 1 year. My husband is threatening to divorce me. What should I do?
If your green card, you have a 2-year green card and you're getting threatened to be divorced, then don't let your husband threaten you. Say, all right, I'm happy. I'm happy. You're not happy. Let's get a divorce. And as long as you can prove it was a real marriage from the time you got your green card to the time you started a divorce, that you live together, you still get your permanent green card. You do it on your own and tell him, get lost.
Okay, squad. The next one comes from Miguel Jaramillo, and he asked, in my case, my undocumented wife left me and has stated if I do not fix her legal status.
We spoke with him on the phone.
Is,
yes,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, that was This one comes from Boston Celtics. Do I lose my social security number if I lost my immigration case and ordered for final deportation?
Your social security number is good for life, but if you have an order of deportation, I wouldn't expect that you'd be living here for a very long time.
All right. Next one comes from Maher saying, we received qualified letter on November 5th, 2019. Our priority date is August 28th, 2006. F4 case. Now, how many do we have to wait more? What happens next?
Well, you have to process through the National Visa Center, and you're going to wait at least till January 1st of next year, because right now Trump put out his proclamation that no immigrant visas for the F4 category between now and December 31st. So sometime, hopefully next year, you'll be processing here. But in the meantime, you're going to process through the National Visa Center with the affidavits of support and the police clearances and everything else.
Okay, this one comes from Moha Official, and they ask, hi, had my first case felony and my family still there. I asked the judge for deportation. It was my mistaking. Is there a way for me to come back? I'm not too sure.
He was ordered deported. He wants to be able to come back. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what his case is about. He would need to call us from wherever he may be. I would have to get his immigration records through what's called the Freedom of Information Act request and based on that, review it and see if there's a way to get them back.
All right, Stephanie Momo is saying, I'm about to fill out forms DS 2029, DS 5507, DS 11, DS 3053 for CRBA and passport application. Now, does the expiration date of the form matter? Because the one available on the website will expire on June the 30th, so tomorrow.
Yes, expiration dates matter.
Okay, and do you advise to apply for Social Security number at the same time?
As what? As applying for a U.S. passport?
As applying for the passport application.
No,
the,
you would have to.
CRBA?
If you have no legal status in America and you're applying for a U.S. passport because you believe you're a U.S. citizen, you would need to get that U.S. passport first before applying for a Social Security number.
Okay, the next one comes from Samar Hyder, and he says, I am a U.S. citizen and my wife receives an email of documentary qualifications on April 9th, 2020, and I have submitted all required documents I-864 and DS-260 on February 2020. Does she require to fill out DS-5540 and bring health insurance proof in the interview?
Yes.
Okay, Roberto
Yes,
Gutierrez. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Roberto Gutierrez saying greetings from Lima, Peru.
Okay.
And squat up.
Squat up. From
Yeah.
Lima.
Yeah, from Lima.
Squat up is going around the world.
Yeah, and he knew about squat up.
It is going around the world.
Yeah.
Wherever you go, you can find somebody saying squat up.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. So what about those whose immigrant visa are about to expire and are unable to travel to the U.S. due to pandemic borders closing? Are they able to reissue once the consulates reopen?
It's a problem. I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully the consulates will reissue it to you. You may have to reapply again. I'm not 100% certain what the consulate's going to do. It's going to be consulate by consulate and case by case. But I don't have an answer for you right now, unfortunately. It's a precarious situation.
Yeah.
They have not announced what's going to happen.
Okay, this one comes from Shaikh Mohammed Abraham, and he says, my parents entered the U.S. last month, but they cannot get their green card yet due to COVID-19. My question is, can they petition for me, and I am single and above 21 years old? Hope you got
the answer is yes.
point.
The answer is yes, because they entered on an immigrant visa. So just because their green card hasn't been issued to them yet doesn't mean they're not a lawful permanent resident of the United States. And the answer is yes, you can file the I-130.
Okay, Nisha is saying re-entry permit on green card holder. People can come. So can they re-enter? Is there a re-entry permit on green card holder? People can come.
The answer is yes. If you have a re-entry permit and you're not from a country that's barred, you can come. There's a re-entry permit. You're a lawful resident of the United States. So unless you are coming from Brazil, which there's a 2-week, you have to be in another country for 2 weeks, or you're coming from a European country. But even from a European country, lawful residents can come back. So I think short of China or Brazil, you should be allowed back even with a re-entry permit because you are a lawful resident of the United States.
Okie dokie, this one comes from Sasha Ford, and she says, hi, Uncle Brad. Did you hear anything about the second wave of stimulus checks or the idea of them giving us a check until the end of the year? Just curious.
I don't know about second wave of stimulus checks. I hope they do. From what I read in the news, that sometime towards the middle to end of July, the Congress wants to reevaluate and do something. I don't know what it's going to be yet, whether it's stimulus checks, whether it's more paycheck protection program, whether it's unemployment on steroids, all of those things they've done so far. I don't know what they're going to do.
I love that they asked you these type of questions.
Yes.
Like,
That's why I have the Magic 8 Ball. Magic 8 Ball. When will that second? I mean, I can ask Magic 8 Ball. I should have asked the Magic 8 Ball. Magic 8 Ball. When will that second round of stimulus checks come? Magic 8 Ball. It just all the Magic 8 Ball says is you may rely on it coming, but we don't know when. So the Magic 8 Ball says yes. Magic 8 Ball says yes.
Giving us hope.
Right, giving us hope.
Listen, I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, Mary Donker is saying, please, is it possible for USCIS to approve I-130 and I-485 at the same time, 4 to 5 months of the Stokes interview?
Yes.
Cool.
The next one comes from Destiny Daniel David saying, thank you so much, Brad. I am your regular follower on YouTube and Facebook. When will the USCIS start appointments for I-485 interview? My interview was canceled because of COVID. I think
I think we got to ask Dr. Fauci that. Can we get Dr. Fauci on our show and ask Dr. Fauci when people will be able to go back into an office building and have interviews? That's when.
All right, Paul saying.
But in all honesty, my guess is that I am sure at some point they're going to have to make, just like everybody else's video conferencing, there'll have to be video conference interviews for green cards. They're doing video conference deportation hearings. So I don't understand why they can do a video conference deportation hearing, but they can't do a video conference adjustment interview. I think eventually it's going to have to happen.
Okay. Paul saying, my question is simple. During this period, can someone still file for a motion to reopen a previous decision from a DHS officer?
If it's within 30 days, yes. If not, you got to refile again.
Okay, this one comes from Kawara Ma, and she says, or they said, hi, Brad. What are your thoughts on the USCIS furloughing 70% of the employees and how this is going to affect processing times?
I think it will suck. Nobody will get through, but they have not furloughed anybody yet. I think USCIS, I believe, last I read, says that they are funded through August 3rd. So they are asking Congress right now for funds. The way USCIS works is they pay themselves through the filing fees that immigrants pay. So it's self-funded USCIS. The U.S. taxpayer doesn't pay 1 penny for USCIS. So, but right now, because of everything that Trump has done, he's basically sabotaged USCIS because nobody's making applications. And as a result, their filing fees are way down, so they can't afford to pay their employees. So either Congress is going to step in or it's going to be one big cluster FUCK come August 3rd. Let's hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah, that was a 2-part. He just said, I have an I-751 pending, so he was bummed about the news.
I'm bummed about it too. All right, 2 more, guys.
2 more? All right. So Coyote saying, hey, Uncle Brad, wanted to ask if USCIS issued Noir and the petitioner or applicant respond when USCIS likely issue final decision due to COVID-19.
Say that again. I apologize.
Okay. Wanted to ask if USCIS issued a Noir and the petitioner or applicant responds. When is USCIS likely issue final decision due to COVID-19? Does it make sense?
Yes. There's a Noir. Sounds like a French coffee house film, but I think he's referring to a NOID, a notice of intent to deny, which is, and then you respond to it with whatever evidence to say, don't deny me, this case should be approved. Immigration's supposed to respond within 120 days, but even before COVID, it was taking sometimes longer. So I don't know when they will respond to you specifically, but it's supposed to be within 120 days.
Okay, and then last one from Rupin Talkudar. And they say, hi, my spouse is waiting for an interview abroad, now immigration ban. So this situation, can my spouse get a visitor's visa? And if I get a visit visa, is it any effect in the future for spouse interview?
Your spouse, are you a U.S. citizen? Your spouse may be able to try to get a visitor's visa and come and visit you in America. But even if you're married to a permanent resident, if you're from certain countries, you can get a visitor's visa. But if there's a European ban, and your spouse is European, she can't get a visa, unless maybe if you're a U.S. citizen. Depends what country she's from.
Yep, didn't mention it.
All right.
All right. So anyway, Yo-Yo, you may remember this. You marched in the George Floyd protest. There you
Phenomenal.
are. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
You were protesting not only, you were with protesters not only protesting police violence against people, racism. You were also marching to honor George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and all of the lives lost at the hands of the reckless authorities. And the call was for men to protest in suits. And let's watch Yo-Yo, one of the best dressed protesters in town.
What's up, Bradshaw Live? This is Jonathan Elias here in Harlem on 125th and Adam Clayton Powell. Today we are going to be doing a peaceful protest. We have asked all the black men of Harlem to come dressed up in suits to change the narrative, to show that we are not thugs, to show that we are human. We have to actually come out here and we have to dress up to change the narrative, to show what the media won't show. So please join me as we walk and protest. All right. So we are here at our peaceful protest. I have a good friend of mine right here. Well, can you please tell everybody your name and where you're from?
Tyson Lord Gray, and I'm from Harlem, New York.
Okay, and what do you do?
I'm a professor at NYU, and I'm an attorney.
All right, so what are we here doing today?
So we're here commemorating the life, the legacy of George Floyd. So we just came together to say that his life matters, that contrary to what the police tried to show to society that he didn't matter, that the reality is his life matters, black men's lives matter, black lives matter, and we are here today in solidarity to support that and to remind people that George Floyd's life had value.
Absolutely, and today was a special protest because we asked black men to come dressed up, whether it's in suits, African gear, come professional. What does that mean to you and what does that mean to the world?
The reality is we are professionals, we're attorneys, we're professors, we're doctors, we're lawyers, and even aside from all of that, we're humans, and at the end of the day, we deserve to have the same respect that they would give to anyone.
Amen. Thank you so much, brother.
Appreciate it.
Look, Corona's still out there.
Black Lives Matter.
All right, I got one of my frat brothers over here, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, the best frat I've ever. Hey, tell them your name, where you from.
Toys Francis. I'm from Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Nice. And what do you do?
I work for the state of New York. I'm a content strategist.
So do you feel like this will actually make a change? All these protests and everything that we've been doing around the world, do you think that this will actually make a change?
I think it already has started making a change. They didn't start, with any charges for those police officers. Now all 4 of them are charged. So there is, a purpose to what we're doing, and it is having an impact. And I think that it should have way more impact. There should be laws changed. There should be measures put in place to prevent this from continuing to happen, because if nothing changes, we're going to be doing the same thing again and again and again.
Last question. Give us advice for the young ones out there that want to know, how can you make a change and they feel helpless? What can they do?
The biggest thing that people can do is vote, but if you're young and you're not old enough to vote, I think just talking to people, having that conversation, making sure that you're doing all that you can to change people's minds about this topic, I think that's helpful.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Well, there you have it, Brad Squad. This was a very successful and peaceful protest. I believe we have changed the narrative. We have showed that we are not thugs. We came up dressed up, we showed out, and we did it very peacefully and respectfully. I hope that you guys go out there and try and make a change. If you're not protesting, then speak your word. Use your social media platform. You guys have to scream it out loud. All right? We have that right. So I thank you for joining us. Back to the studio.
Yo-Yo, I'm very proud of you, man. I was proud of you when you did it, and I'm going to say it again. So how was the experience for you? Tell me about the experience, but I'm also curious your thoughts, and maybe, Vanessa, your thoughts too, on you made it very clear it was a peaceful protest. And the media, they covered a lot of violence. Your protest was peaceful, and there was probably, from all of the protests that I saw, although obviously I was inside in the evening, but certainly during the day, it was always peaceful, whatever I saw. So tell me what you think about how your protest went and your experience was. And I'm also curious how both of you think how the media covered the protests, because you made it very clear it was peaceful.
Yeah. It's even hard to talk about it because
yeah,
it's just,
I feel that.
The time we're in right now, and the fact that we had to change the narrative. We had to dress up like that just to be heard, or to just to be taken serious, or to show that,
to be respected.
Like what the media is showing is not that. Like, we had to call all the media. We had to put this together ourselves. Like, we worked really close with NYPD, and they were great with us, but we have to do this in order to let the world know we are not the dogs, the animals that the police are treating us like. So just to be a part of that, it's like we are a part of history now. And it's crazy seeing the footage, that Lee took, because it literally looks like the same exact footage from the protests in the 60s. Like, nothing has changed, and we're still fighting. And I just appreciate even Vanessa, and Allison, some of the Brad Squad and our co-workers that have gone and protested as well, because that really helped. It shows we're not alone in all of this. So, yeah, it was just a lot. It was a good feeling, though. It was a good feeling.
Now, did you help organize this?
Yeah.
How many people showed up to your protest?
Tens. It was definitely thousands.
Wow.
We walked from Adam Clayton Powell on 125th all the way to 96th Street, and then walked down a couple. We had Corey Wise from Central Park 5. If you guys have watched When They See Us.
That's amazing, brother.
One who actually got the worst out of everything. He was right in front with us. So still marching, So yeah, it was a great experience. It was a dope experience.
What do you think has changed? Did you make a change, or did you make noise?
No, we did both. I'm just really proud that we came out and showed out, especially with the pandemic, we all kind of put together different or help find different city MDs for everybody to get tested after, because, you know, we wanted to make sure everybody was still safe. We all had our masks on. So, you know, we definitely made a change, though. I think we definitely changed the narrative, and we're just going to keep it going. We're going to keep it going.
And Vanessa, what do you think?
Well, I also took part in a peaceful protest here in New Jersey. And it was actually the first time I'd ever been a part of a protest. And I don't know if a lot of people know, but I'm from the Dominican Republic. So I do identify as Afro-Latina. I think that I have been a part of, you know, a little sense of, I guess because of my presentation or the color of my skin, to not maybe necessarily feel directly affected by racism necessarily, you know, in terms of the Black community. But my father is he looks African American, you know. So for me, after really, really taking the time to become more knowledgeable and understand much more than surface and much more than just colorism, and how even in this time where there's this pandemic, like, we are literally a part of history. So there's no better time than for us to be stuck home to learn and become knowledgeable and become aware of humanity. So, I mean, I'm pretty sensitive on the topic as well. I do feel like, you know,
you're more
there's
sensitive.
still so much work
You're more
to
sensitive
do.
now than you were before.
Yeah, ever before, just because I think that I've never felt, I mean, the area that I grew up in, majority is Latino, is minorities. So I've never felt anything, like, I've never felt different, because we were all, I guess, you know, minorities.
Right.
So we were all the same around here. But, you know, when I look into other states where that's not the case, where, you know, African Americans are a minority and they're treated the way that they're treated and so inhuman. At the end of the day, it's like it's about a human thing, you know, like, and respecting one another as people, no matter what you see, right? So I was just proud that I could, you know, step out. I had to do my part. It had to be more than just social media. I consider myself an influencer, so I can't just be an influencer when it's convenient for me. I can't just influence when things are pretty. It's important to be an influence when things aren't so beautiful. So I would just encourage people to use their platforms, even if you don't think you necessarily have a platform. It doesn't have to do with followers. It just has to do with people and spreading the word. And I've just grown a lot as a person in this time. I just have a lot of love for my colleagues. I know amazing, you know, African Americans like my brother Yo-Yo. And when he sent that picture of what he put together, I mean, I didn't really express it too heavy in our group chat, but I was just so proud to be, you know, even in the same space with a person like you, Yo-Yo. And there's so much work to do still. And I feel that our generation is going to be, there will be a revolution. I was telling Yo-Yo,
Yes.
I would love to live in a time, I would love for my kids to think that we were all strange forever, even being a part of a racist, you know, systemic environment. So I pray for the future, and I have faith in it, and all we can do is be a part of the movement.
Well said for both of you. My opinion is, you know, the culture war is being won. In past incidences, when young Black men got killed by police, the only people who were outraged were the liberals and the people in the minority community. But your middle class, white, suburban, which still is a majority of Americans, were not outraged. May have been upset, but not outraged. I think everyone is outraged now, to the point where it's okay to kneel for the flag. It's okay to take down racist monuments. The state of Mississippi today is taking off the Confederate emblem. There's a part of the Confederate flag inside of the state flag of Mississippi. And they are voting right now to take that part of that Confederate emblem off the state flag. And there's a Republican governor of Mississippi which historically is an extraordinarily racist state, not to say every person who lives in Mississippi is a racist, but what is historically a racist state, saying that he's going to sign that legislation to get rid of that emblem off the state flag. It doesn't belong there. So I think from a culture war, these protests and this outrage has convinced the average white guy, somebody who looks like me, although I was convinced before, but somebody who looks like me, has convinced the average white person, has convinced the average American who is not a minority. There is no average American, but the average American who is non-minority, that something is really, really wrong here when black Americans are targeted, when black Americans are killed, when there's a majority of the people in jail are black Americans, when black Americans go to jail, I don't know the exact statistic, 10, 20 times more for drugs than white Americans. You're saying white Americans don't do drugs? White Americans don't sell drugs? When the police violence against black Americans, even in the Central Park right before George Floyd, the whole incident with George Floyd happened, there were 30 arrests in Central Park, I remember, one weekend right here in New York City for people not social distancing and wearing masks, and 29 were black. Only black people don't wear masks?
Right.
So I think that the culture war has been won. There is a large majority, I think I saw a statistic, over 75% of Americans who want to reform the police. Over 75% of Americans who say they want to fix this racist society. 3 out of 4 Americans are now saying that, where it never happened before. So from a cultural standpoint, we're winning.
Yeah,
from a legislation standpoint, from what laws are we going to change to enforce this new reality, we're waiting to see what happens with that.
Absolutely.
I haven't seen a lot of laws change. But I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you.
I'm proud
I
of you.
appreciate
And
it.
by the way, congratulations. Not only did you put on this amazing thing, I know this is, superfluous to what we were really trying to say and do, but I got to congratulate you anyway. You made it in Vogue.
Yeah.
You made it in Vogue for this.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was amazing. As the best dressed protester. So not only did you put on this amazing thing, but from a shallow perspective, in the scope of things, who cares who's the best dressed? But if somebody's going to be the best dressed protester, damn it, might as well be you.
You already know I'm going to come represent now.
All right, so congratulations. Guys, you remember how to do speed round?
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you remember how to do it? We're going to answer 10 immigration questions in under a minute and 10 seconds. We have not practiced this in a while. Now, I realize that if we screw up, you guys are safe. The only one getting blown up is me. Because we're not blowing up. Right. We're not blowing up Nesquik's apartment in Jersey or apartment A in Harlem. We're only blowing up the studio here. So I hope you show a little love for me and, don't blow me up.
A little sympathy?
Yeah, a little sympathy.
A little sympathy. All right. Well, Nesquik, we ain't even really talked about this, but you want to start with...
One second. We got to get Julian to get a minute and 10 seconds on the clock.
That's fine. We're going to talk to each other real quick.
You guys work out your strategy while Julian, the TriCaster guy, gets a minute 10 on the clock.
There you go, Nesquik. Just read anyone. Just read any of them that are short. Just move your fingers.
I know, that's the game plan.
That's the game plan. All right.
All right.
So I guess the way to get the clock on, we don't see you, so we're just gonna hear your voice. All right.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. So Julian, the TriCaster guy, we're gonna do 10. He's giving us a minute and 11 seconds. Oh, a minute and 10. He was giving us an extra second. All right. What camera am I looking into, Julian? This one. All right. You ready?
I'll go first.
Yep. By the way.
Go ahead. By the way.
Julian is getting me all set up that I'm right on top of the bomb when it explodes. He's like, he just went into my ear. He goes, "You're not on top of the bomb. 1 second." So now I am sitting on top of the bomb. Thank you for moving the camera, Julian.
We're not going to blow you up, Brad.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
All right.
Go ahead, Yo.
The clock starts on Yo-Yo's words.
All right. Kenny B says, good evening. Is it okay to travel to the United States from Jamaica on a B1, B2 visa in July?
If you can get on a plane, why not?
Gully Chambers, my priority date is July 29. How long do I have to wait for a visa petition for I-130 spouse?
July 2019. It should be approved by July 2020.
Nana says, what's the case processing time for removal proceedings in New York?
It's over 2 years.
Okay, I've been married for 38 years. Her husband's in Jamaica, got deported 20 years ago. They have 5 children. Nope, that's not a good one. Can a Nigerian with a 10-year green card file for his child or spouse now that it's present new immigration rules?
Yes, but we got to wait for the for proclamation to lift it.
Sally said, I'm a COVID-19 tester. Can I be exempt from the green card hold?
No.
Is it okay to travel to the United States from Jamaica on a B1, B2 visa in July?
Yes, we answered that.
Sally says, can I get a FAFSA with my work authorization and social security number?
Oh, gosh. We're not even close. Oh, no.
Jeez.
No.
What are we at?
Okay.
We're like at 4.
I don't know. We were like 7.
Oh, my gosh.
My eyes are singed. My poor eyes are singed.
This was our first goal.
My
This
poor
was our
eyes.
first goal
You just totally,
in New York
you
Brad
blew
show.
me up.
This is the new, yeah, we're going to have to get it together.
What were the other questions?
So Sally said, can I get a FAFSA with my work authorization and social security?
Can you what?
Can I get a FAFSA? Financial
FAFSA?
aid.
What's a FAFSA?
Yes. Financial aid.
Oh, can you get financial aid with what?
Financial aid.
With work authorization and social security.
For a college? No, you got to get a green card.
Okay.
We have 2 more.
So my grandmother's filing for my mom and her visa fees are paid last week. Her visa application submitted. Is my mom affected by the proclamation?
Yes.
Shanti says, for the last one, EB1 dates for India are moving really fast. Is that due to the travel ban and spill over for?
Most likely.
Okay.
All right. Comments of the day. Let's hear what everyone has to say. We got the gang back today. Anyone had anything to say about the gang being back? I don't know. Let's find out. They did.
Many.
All right. Let's
Yes. Our first comment of the day comes from 29 Super C. Welcome back, Jonathan and Vanessa. We missed you guys.
You got to talk into the microphone, Yo-Yo. I don't hear you. What's 29?
I'll say it again.
What did
Our
29
first
Super
one,
C?
29 Super C says, welcome back, Jonathan and Vanessa Contreras. We missed you guys.
All right.
Y'all
Thanks,
too.
29 Super C, for missing us. Alrighty, the next comment of the day comes from Tracy Lacey, and she says, pretty soon the squad will be storming in the new apartment A.
Storm apartment A.
Oh,
Mind you, I have the home studio.
There's going to be 2 hashtags trending after the show. Hashtag squad up and hashtag storm apartment A. Those are 2 trending
Home studio.
hashtags.
Well, we can invade apartment A.
Yes.
I don't
Whatever
know why
y'all prefer.
why'd I even say the apartment number? Like I always put myself in like
Storm apartment. That's why I asked who the doorman is, you know? Poor
right.
doorman.
I set myself up.
Yeah.
I set myself up. All right, our third comment of the day, everybody. Oh God. And the real team is back.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And?
Oh, the real team is back.
The
Love
real
that.
team.
All right, next one
Yes.
comes from Carol at the top, Cat Tigers, 2 Andersons. You guys are unique together, the best positive show. Oh, thank you, Carol.
Thank you, Carol. Carol has more comments of the day than anybody.
Right.
She really knows how to butter us up, Carol. She loves us. Always has the nicest things to say. We love Carol.
Right. All right, and we have one from Marge Higgs saying, I need a medium pink t-shirt with Brad's pic on the back and squat up across the chest. Ooh.
A medium? She's already
Loyal.
requesting her merchandise our first day back. And
Okay.
Grandma's requesting merch.
I'm here for that.
Do we have any pig squat up shirts?
We might be able to make one.
We can make a few, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do a competition.
So, you have one more. Okay.
Yeah.
One more.
A lot of comments in the day.
From Linda Shaw, and she says, "Thanks a million for those of us that couldn't make it to the protest. Our spirit was there. Continue to do what you can. Yes, Black Lives Matter." Amen.
All right,
love that.
Linda.
Thank you. We
I
love
like
that, Linda.
I like that, Linda.
Thank you so much.
So guys, what was it like back? Huh?
It was
kind
great.
of like old times, although you're not in the studio, right?
Tomorrow's gonna be smooth.
It's much smoother.
It's gonna be
yes,
smooth.
we'll try to get on the air closer to our 5:30 start time.
Yeah. It'll
I
be a lot
for the
smoother.
record, we were figuring things out at 5. Like at 5,
Yes.
we were almost there.
We were almost
But
there.
tomorrow we're gonna get there.
We were this close. Right. The first time we went on, it's just me waving I'm like, we're on. Nobody knows we're on.
That was hilarious.
All right. So thank you all. We'll see you all tomorrow. But I got to remember something. Remembering the modern gay rights movement. And we got to remember this. It was sparked at the Stonewall Inn right here in New York City on June 28th, 1969, 51 years ago to the day. A police raid on the Greenwich Village gay bar led to days of riots after resistance by patrons. It was the modern gay rights movement started right here at the Stonewall Inn. In the late 1960s, it was illegal to be gay in almost every state. There were no laws protecting gay people from discrimination, and there was no openly gay politicians, no openly gay celebrities. So Stonewall energized this generation of activists into drew hundreds of people. We, in honor of the fact that this past weekend was Pride Weekend and that June is Immigrant Heritage Month, I'm going to be signing off the show today with a video tribute to some of the many personal immigration stories people shared with us 2 years ago at the Gay Pride Parade right here in New York City. Let's enjoy, and I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
I'm from a very conservative country where I cannot be who I am. So I'm here seeking for a better life.
I'm marching for my sister, my cousin, everybody who I know. I have my best friend who's also gay. Anybody in the world. I'm all about love, unity, all that good stuff.
I want to experience the freedom and the right to be free and be who I am with my sexuality and experience with other people and share with other people. That's why I'm here. I'm marching for trans women of color. I'm marching for immigrants, those children in regions, and everybody else. I'm a gay man. This is where we can amplify our voices, make ourselves known.
I'm marching for LGBTQ, everyone who is too afraid to come out or can't come out. I'm marching for everyone who loves. That's it.
I'm marching for literally everybody. It's a day for everyone to be just proud of who they are. Most of my friends are LGBTQ, ABCDEFG, this and that. You know, like I know a diverse range of people, and I'm marching for all of them. I just think everyone should just be proud of themselves on this day. It's been since the beginning of America to accept people without regard of their religion and to say, come into our country, we will protect you. There's a separation of church and state that should be here, and we're going to accept you no matter who you are.
We're all human and we all love differently, we all express differently, and we should all have the right, whether we're gay, straight, black, white, Puerto Rican, we should all have the same rights and we should all be able to do the same things as them.
I mean, I think if anyone's in an unsafe situation and there's a safe place that could protect them from this unsafe situation, they should be able to remain there. The ability to be free and to be authentic is a gift. I just wish that one day if I could become an American citizen, I can go and I will do everything I can to give back to you.
So Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein Law Firm, located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.